position, just start to check in with your physical body this morning. How does your physical body feel right now? So we're looking not just for the areas of tension and the areas of tightness, and they might be there, but we're also looking for where it feels spacious, or where it even just feels neutral. So just scan around your body for a few moments. And as you're moving your awareness around your body, maybe you can soften a little bit and bring a little bit more relaxation into various places. Oftentimes we might be clenching the teeth without realizing it. We might be scrunching up the eyes. We might even have a frown. So softening the muscles around your face, relaxing your jaws, letting the shoulders get heavier and feeling the weight of your arms resting in your lap or your hands on your thighs, your knees. And then see, can you allow a little bit more weight to drop down into your sit bones? So a sense of getting really grounded in this position. Maybe aware of which parts of your body are touching the floor. Can you let go a little bit more through the legs, the hips, the thighs? And then notice if you're drawing your belly in or holding your belly in. That can be a habit that we have. Can you really soften your belly? Kind of have the intention of letting it all hang out, letting it all go. And when you start to follow your breath now, really follow it all the way down to the base of your lungs, so that as the diaphragm pushes down, you may feel the belly press out. And as we use the diaphragm then to press the air out of the lungs, you might feel the belly drawing in. So just notice what's happening around your body as you breathe. And as you connect to the breath, maybe you could very subtly lengthen that exhalation. Just let it slow down a little bit, extend a little bit longer. I like to visualize that as I'm breathing out, that the breath is traveling away from me, far off into the distance, and that the new breath is coming towards my body from afar. So like you're floating that breath in, and you're floating that breath out. We just take a few more really conscious breaths here. And again, maybe there's still some softness, some heaviness you can allow to come into your body, a little bit more grounded. And we'll start with some movement into the neck. Neck is an area that we hold a lot of tension. You can do this with your eyes closed, or you can open your eyes now if you like. And we're just going to take the left ear over to the left shoulder. Let the head get really heavy. And then begin to turn your chin slowly, really slowly towards that shoulder, and just feel the movement stretch in the back and the side of the neck. And then slowly begin to draw the chin down towards your chest, and then all the way over to the other side. Chin to the right shoulder, ear to the shoulder. Gently drawing the head back. Don't let it drop all the way back, but just keep going through that. Few slow circles. Keep going round and round. And then just reverse it and go back in the other direction. Okay, then coming back to center. Let's take the arms out to the side and inhale and take a big breath, reach up, touch the palms together, and then bring the hands down to the heart. And again, inhale, reach up. Bring the hands down to the heart. One more time, take the arms out, inhale, reach up. And this time, keep reaching up. Find a little bit more length if you can through the spine. You can separate the palms now and we'll take a little twist to the left. So twisting to the left, bringing the hands down. You might touch the fingertips to the floor behind you. Turn your head to look in the direction of that twist. Again, softening the belly so you can breathe down into the belly. Come back again around, reach up. And then rotate to the right. Come back to center, and again, we'll take our arms all the way up. Keep reaching up, and then bring your left fingertips down, and then take a side bend to the left. So grounding through that right sit bone and extending through the fingertips. Find your breath. Maybe you can soften down a little bit more as you take a few breaths, maybe bending that left elbow, maybe even bringing that forearm to the floor. And then bringing yourself, when you're ready, all the way back. Reach up again, extend, and then right fingertips down, and we'll take that side stretch to the right. Remember to always listen to your body. Don't push, don't force, just listen and see where your body wants to go. And if anything doesn't feel good, don't do it. Bring yourself all the way back. Let's just lean back for a moment and take the legs out wide. And we're going to try and press the sides, the edges of the foot back to the wall behind you. Feel those sit bones grounding. And then take a little twist to your right. Stay nice and tall through your spine. And then lean over that right leg. And I want you to keep pressing out through the heels as you do this. And again, just feel your way into it. So you might be feeling something going on in the lower back there. So just go gently. Also, obviously, insides of the thighs, the hips, the groins, all of that. Take a couple of breaths. Bring yourself back when you're ready. Let's pause at the center and go forward. Think about taking the chest forward. Keep these legs engaged. Keep pressing out through your heels. Curl those toes back. Might not get very far, or that might feel like you want to go a little bit deeper into that. Take a couple of breaths there. And then bring yourself all the way up and twist again to the left this time and go over and down to the left. Waking the hips up. And then you're going to bring yourself all the way back. And we're going to bend the legs. I'm going to just turn off to the side a little bit so you can see better kind of what I'm doing there. So planting the feet for a moment, hands to the floor behind you, and then just lift your feet up, and we're windscreen wiping the legs. So we're just going to go side to side. And just notice how your hips feel, because they might be a little bit cranky kind of early in the morning. Just might be cranky anyway. So then what I want you to do is try and start to slow down a little bit and press more the knee down to the floor. And then come back around and press a little bit more down into the floor. Go, maybe one more each side, pushing that knee down. Come back to center, pressing that knee down. Now stay here, whichever side you're on, doesn't matter. Let the knees come down and pivot on that bum cheek, sit bone, and reach towards the wall behind you. Really reach. One more time, reach, and then come back. Let the knees go over and down to the other side, pivot, and reach around behind you. So we're just trying to stretch into the back body a little bit. And then bring yourself all the way back. And walk your feet in a little bit close together. We'll keep the knees bent. We're going to come up onto the fingertips and press the fingertips into the floor, and then lift your chest and take your gaze up. So feel your shoulder blades kind of pressing against the upper back, pressing the chest up, rolling the shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Another breath there. And then slowly relax and release that. We're going to hold on now to the backs of the thighs, coming into boat pose. You might walk your feet in close together. You might even want to squeeze your knees together. Draw the belly in, lift up through your lower back. This is a nice one for strengthening the core, but also strengthening the back. Chest wants to stay lifted, shoulders roll back and down, and we're just going to tiptoe those feet back, lift up the shins, and then depending on how this feels for you, maybe take the hands away from the legs. And if you are working into something a little bit stronger, maybe starting to straighten the legs, taking the toes up towards the ceiling. Find your breath there, keep that chest lifting, keep that belly drawing in. We're going for 3, 2, 1. I'm going to release the feet back down. Bring the hands back down to the floor behind you. Let's turn the fingers out wide to the side. You might want to walk those heels in closer. Coming into reverse table pose. Press the floor away, lift your chest, and then push into the feet and lift the hips. And squeeze the bum. The inner thighs are pressing towards each other. The heels are pulling back towards your hands. Breathe there. For 3, keep squeezing the bum. 2, 1, slowest counter ever. Slowly release back down to the floor. You might want to just pause there, roll out the wrists. That can be hard on the wrists. And then we're just going to come back into one more boat pose. Hands to the back of the thighs, chest lifts, belly draws in, lower back pulls in. Tiptoe those feet back. Lift those shins. You might want to squeeze the knees together, squeeze the ankles together, get that strength through your core, release your hands again. You might want to stay here, you might want to take the legs straighter, you might even want to bring in a little bit of extra and touch the hands to the back of the head or the side of the head, and let's do some little twists. So this is all, you might even want to just stay there and hold on to your thighs. Just options. Find your breath. See, this is what happens when I say I'm not going to go hard and then I decide to go that little bit extra every time. 5, 4, nearly there. 3, 2, 1. Release. Give yourself a hug. Chin into the chest. Take a few breaths there. As you focus on the expansion in your belly again, feel how that causes some kind of stretching into the back of your body as well as the breath travels through. One more breath. And then we're going to slowly roll ourselves up. And we're going to roll ourselves down. So coming down onto your back. We're going to bring the hands just underneath the bum, so palms down, thumbs tuck into the sides. You're going to squeeze your arms into your sides and roll your shoulders back and press your lower back into the ground. Take the legs straight up in the air. Point or flex the feet, so you can point your toes or you can flex your feet, but really work to firm up the thighs there. I want you to keep that lower back pressing down into the floor. We're going to take one leg down and just hover the heel above the mat. So really pressing through both heels. As that right leg comes back up, I've done my right leg, you might be on the other leg comes down. So essentially we're just scissoring the legs. And we're going to keep going. And if you find this difficult, just do little scissors. Okay, if you want to work a little bit harder, hover all the way down just above the floor. Slow it down. Find your breath. Relax your face, your shoulders, and we'll just keep going for another 5, 4, 3, and if you really take those toes back over your head, get a nice stretch into the hamstrings. 1, and release. Knees come in, I can hear my husband running. Rocking side to side, little circles with your knees. We're going to rock all the way back up to sitting. And you might be able to pull the feet in and roll over onto your knees and come into table pose. Okay, nice flat back. I wasn't planning on doing all that core, but it just kind of happened. So there you go. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Knees underneath your hips, feet straight back out behind. Let's do a few rounds of cat-cow. Take the tailbone down to the heels, pull your belly in, pull those front ribs inch into chest. And then start to lift through your tailbone, drop your belly and take your chest forward through your upper arms, lift your head. Go between those two a couple of times. Nice. And then come back to your neutral, your flat back position, table pose. We're going to do a few arm cars, all right? If wrists are an issue for you here, come up onto fists at any point. We're going to take the right hand forward with the thumb up towards the ceiling. And you're going to lift that arm up, hopefully alongside your ear. Feel the weight of that arm. Just notice that effort involved in just lifting your arm. Turn the palm out to the side. And then try and keep that arm high as you bring it back around behind you and just touch the back of your hand to your bum or your lower back. Now, can you push that right palm all the way up to the ceiling? And then can you spin that palm out so to really draw that shoulder back? Keep the arm high as you reach forward and then come down. Let's do the other side. Left hand forward, thumb leads up. Palm spins out. Arm stays high as you bring it around behind your back. Touch your back with the back of your hand. Press the palm up. Spin the palm around all the way so it faces forward if you can, and keep it high as you come forward again and down. Right side, one more time each side. Thumb leads up, palm spins out, arm sweeps back, keep it high, touch your lower back or your bum. Press that palm up, spin the palm forward, keep the arm high as you reach forward for a moment and then release it down. Left one, coming up, spinning out, drawing back, keep turning as you come around behind your back, touch the bum, push the palm up, spin the palm forward, reach forward and come all the way down again. Just sit back for a moment onto your heels and we're going to roll the shoulders out. So you should feel a bit of heat, a bit of circulation. So draw the shoulders forward, kind of squeeze them forward, pull them up towards your ears, slide them all the way back, squeeze your shoulder blades together and then release them down. So we're coming forward and up and back and down. And maybe you make fists and maybe you try and keep your arms straight so that that work is really just coming from the shoulder blades, and you'll soon start to feel again a little bit of heat coming into that area. Maybe you pause, maybe you reverse, come all the way back. 3, keep breathing. 2, obviously, keep breathing. 1, and then release, and just shake that all out. We're coming back onto our hands and knees. And again, if wrists are an issue, come up onto fists at any point. We're going to slide the right leg back. Keep the toes touching the floor for a moment as you just work to draw the belly in, squeeze the bum. We're going to lift that right foot off the floor and just push it towards the wall behind you. So it doesn't have to come high. We don't want to let the back collapse. We want to be reaching back one straight line. That left hand now slides forward and the left arm comes up alongside the left ear. If you can, try and find some stability in this pose. Squeeze everything in. Think about squeezing your outer hips in. And then bring the hand and the knee back and switch sides. Reaching forward and back, you can point or flex that foot. Keep that belly and the front ribs drawing in so the back is nice and flat. Hand and foot comes down and the other side. I'm going to swap side to side a couple of times. Nice work. Maybe one more each side. Last one, right side. Good, and then come back and take your knees wider and just take a child pose for a few breaths. Softening down, forehead to the floor. Coming back to your breath. And just letting the palms of your hands touch the floor and letting your elbows sink down and your forearms come down to the mat. When you're ready, you're going to start to lift through the head, neck and chest, but I want you to keep your forearms down on the floor and bring your shoulders over your elbows and then walk your knees back so we can come down into a Sphinx position. So you might need to adjust yourself a little bit. Make sure that those elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. What I see a lot of the time is that the elbows are a little bit wider and people are kind of collapsed and they're down here somewhere. You really want to be supporting yourself. It's a little bit like when you're, on a sun lounger reading a book. You want to be able to support the weight of your chest and your shoulders. You're going to press the palms down into the mat. You're going to take the chest forward, and then you're going to really work to squeeze your bum. Because you'll notice, like, if you let your bum and your legs relax, can you feel that little bit of compression in your lower back? It's not very nice feeling. So when you start to squeeze your bum, and if you pull your belly in a little bit, pull your navel towards your spine a little bit, that should relieve that compression and it'll lengthen that lumbar spine. So we want to keep that all engaged because we're going to do a little bit of work from here. So squeeze the bum and the thighs. We're going to slide, if you can, the right arm forward and then back. Just get a feel for that. Notice how you want to tip one way. Try not to let that happen. Go forward with the other arm. So we're working on finding that stability. If that felt okay, you can carry on doing that and just keep doing that. If you feel like you're strong enough to go a little bit further, slide that right hand forward and then turn the thumb towards the ceiling. Let's see if we can do that shoulder carve. So the hand comes up, palm turns out, arm sweeps back, touching the bum. Keep squeezing that bum. Press that palm up, spin it forward, all the way forward, down to the floor and back again. Okay? Other side. Keep squeezing that bum. Slide the hand forward. You can just keep sliding forward and back if you prefer. Thumb turns up, arm comes up, palm spins out, arm sweeps back. You're going to touch the bum, the back of the hand. You're going to press the palm up. Notice if you're starting to roll over to one side, try not to let that happen. Spin the palm forward, sweep the arm forward, bring it back down to the floor. Give your pelvis a little shimmy side to side, let go for a moment, and then come back. Press the floor away, squeeze the bum. Okay, a little bit of core work from here, and then we're going to move on to some other stuff. So start to draw the belly in, but also now start to draw the front ribs in. It's like you're pulling your body away from the floor. If you can, lift your pelvis and just hover above the floor. So this is work that's really strengthening the core, but you can feel like there's like a corset effect. Everything is drawing in. The lower back might be feeling it. If there's a weakness in the lower back, this will help to strengthen those muscles. We're hovering above the floor. We're going to lower back down, take the chest forward, lift the head. We're going to press into the arms and the knees, and we're going to lift again up. Sorry, Fiona, it is kind of going in a stronger direction than what I thought, but it's just, I must have had a good sleep last night. Hovering there, breathing there. You can do what you want. You can take a little rest if you need to. Lower back down. We're going to do one more round of this. Promise you it's really good for you. Draw the belly in, lift and hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let the forehead for a moment rest onto the back of your hands. Let your feet flop out to the side. Give your hips a little shimmy. And we're going to move on in a second into some nice lunges and some bit more hippie stuff. Not like hippie as in, you know. Sorry, I'm chatty today. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, curl your toes under, push yourself up. You might want to do another little round of cat-cow here. Just to move all of that through. And when you're ready, let's find our way to downward facing dog. So downward facing dog should feel nice because that brings a lot of length back through the spine. Let your head hang down between your arms. Maybe give your head a little nod and a shake. Maybe walk out your dog. Press one heel down as you bend the other knee. Pressing the chest back, drawing the belly in, pushing the mat forward and away from you. Walking the dog if you want. We are going to be stepping the right foot up between the hands. Think about how you want to get there. You might just lift and swing that leg up. You might just want to drop down onto your knees. Might be able to just step it up. Maybe wriggle it forward, help it along if it doesn't quite get there. Find your lovely long lunge, let your pelvis sink down a little bit more towards the floor, lengthen through the back of your neck and the crown of your head. We're going to try and keep that back knee lifted for a moment as we take a little twist to the right. Reach the right fingertips up and maybe make some big circles with that right arm. We've done quite a lot of shoulder work, so just a nice soft circling through that shoulder. And then let's bring the hands back down to the floor and let that back knee come down for a moment. Uncurl your toes, press the top of the foot down, and then push the floor away to bring yourself up into your lunge. So we have the right knee forward. We're going to take the arms straight out to the side. I might actually turn to face you for this. Arms are out to the side. We're going to turn one palm up and the other palm back. So we kind of, it's like that idea of wringing out the towel. You might bring in a little bit more movement to that. Get as much rotation as you can through those arm bones. And then we're going to take the left palm up, right palm back. Left palm comes up, then the elbow, right hand comes around behind you, and you're going to try and touch the fingertips. So trying to see, can you work the fingers towards each other on your back? So a lot of work going on for the shoulders this morning. Find your breath. Notice what's happening through your legs. Are you just kind of slumped into that? Is the lower back arching? Can we pull the belly in? Can we draw that back knee and front foot towards each other? Can we tilt the pelvis back? Can we keep all of that nice and strong? Then find your breath, a couple of breaths there. And then we're going to release the hands and bring them down inside of the leg and walk your foot out wider to the side. I'm going to come back around this way. And then coming into lizard pose from here. So depending on how your hips are feeling this morning, you might just want to stay like this. It might be that you can maybe walk the hands forward a little bit and soften. For some of you, I know you've no problem coming all the way down onto forearms. Take whichever version works best for you. And if you want to add a little extra for the front of that left hip, you could curl your back toes under and slowly lift and straighten that back leg. That might be too much. Just something to work towards maybe. Take a couple of breaths there. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back up. Support yourself. We're going to walk that right foot in. lift the back knee up again, and let's step back into our downward facing dog. You might want to walk out that dog seat or anything. Is anything feeling different after that? And then can we step the left foot forward? Help it along if you need to. Let the pelvis then sink down. And let's take our twist. So the right fingertips will stay down. Sorry, the left arm reaches up. And we might circle that arm a few times. So again, engage your bum. Squeeze those outer hips in. One more breath there. I'm going to release the hand back to the floor. We're going to let that back knee come down. Uncurl the toes. Lift yourself up. Inhale, reach the arms up, and then we're going out to the side again. And we're going to do that rotation. So one palm up as the other palm turns the other way. Keep going. And then you're going to keep your left palm up, I think. No, right palm up. Whichever palm you didn't do the last time, if you can remember, take the arms around and try and work the fingertips together. See, I can't remember because I confused myself by turning around. I think it might be right palm up. Notice what's going on with your lower body. Can you tilt that pelvis back? Can you draw the back heel and the front foot together? And breathe, and then releasing your arms. Maybe roll the shoulders a couple of times, bring the hands down inside of the foot, walk the foot out wide, let the hips sink down if you can. Maybe you can bring the hands down. Maybe it feels different on this side, but this side for me is a little bit tighter. So just listening to your body and adjusting the pose. If you want to curl your back toes under and lift that back leg, go for it. But make sure you can breathe through the movements. 3, 2, 1. If the leg is up, drop it down for a moment. Support yourself with your hands. Walk the foot in, curl the back toes under. Step yourself back to downward facing dog. And again, if you're walking it out, notice the things starting to loosen out a little bit. And let's take the feet wider to the edges of the mat. Let's bend your knees deeply. Walk your hands back, drop the heels down, and just find a little squat for a moment. So you might need to move around a little bit to get those heels down. You might be with the heels lifted. That's okay. Just do what you can. Press the knees out wide and try and lift the chest. You might press the palms together in front of the heart. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring the hands back to the mat. We're going to try and find that downward facing dog again. So as you bring the hands down, walk them up your mat, maybe walk your feet in closer. Find the kind of length between hands and feet to establish your downward facing dog again. And then after a breath or two in that downward facing dog, let's walk the feet upwards towards the hands. So soft knees, walking up your mat, towards the top of your mat, and then folding into a nice soft, deep forward fold. Crown of the head releases. You might hold onto your opposite elbow. Let the weight of the arms and the head and the neck and the chest draw you down and lengthen your spine. Root down through the soles of your feet, and as you root down through the soles of your feet, feel that little rise up through your sit bones, lengthening through your hamstring. When you're ready, release your arms and bend your knees a little bit deeper. Start to draw the belly in and uncurl the spine. So push the floor away. Roll yourself up. The head is going to come up last. And we made it into standing. Take a few breaths there. You want to be somewhere up towards the top of your mat. So if you're not quite there, step up a little bit. And let's turn the palms out and take a nice deep inhale and reach your arms up. And as you exhale, turn the palms out and fold forward. Nice flat back coming down. Fingertips to the floor. We're going to inhale and lift up halfway. So you might, for this one, want to slide the hands up to your shins and press a little bit into your shins and see if you can lengthen through the crown of your head. I think we did this last week, but I'm going to bring it in again because it kind of works well with what we've done so far. Can you take that right arm up and just reach it forward? Keep the back of the neck long, but notice the work going on through your torso, the muscles engaging to hold that arm. Bring it all the way down again. Same thing with the other arm. Sweep up the left arm, reach it forward. Try and keep the flat back. Strong legs, you might need to soften the backs of your knees a little bit. And then bring it back down again. Try taking both arms forward and reaching towards the wall in front of you. Belly draws in, back is strong. Feels a little bit like boat pose in a different position. You know, it feels like you feel all those same muscles working. Start to slowly lower the hands back down. And we're just going to soften down again. Bring the fingertips to the floor and then step back into plank position. I'm not going to make you hold your plank for ages, but you might take a breath or two there. Pull in through the belly, firm up the thighs. And then when you're ready, lower yourself down to the floor, either knees first and then chest and chin, or one straight line, hooking the elbows into the sides, controlling that down to the floor. Point your toes, engage your bum, press through the tops of your thighs, and then take that nice low cobra. Notice what happens if you press into the hands and come a little bit higher. If you're getting that little compression in the lower back, squeeze your bum more or come down a little bit. Bring yourself slowly down. Curl the toes again. Push back to hands and knees or plank position. Downward facing dog. You're going to step the right foot forward. You might want to lift and swing that leg up, or you might just drop down to your knees. Find your lunge. Can we swivel the left heel down and then push the floor away and come up? Once you're up, nice deep bend in that front knee. Inhale to reach the arms up. Warrior one. Nicely grounding into that back heel. Turn the palms out, sweep the hands back. Clasp the hands behind your back here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Maybe you can straighten the arms. You might even work to press the heel of the hands a little bit more together. Lift through the chest. Stay grounded into that back foot. Lean forward. Maybe the arms come up a little bit higher. Maybe you can tuck your chin a little bit. Humble warrior. Breathe. And then release your hands. You can bring the fingertips back to the floor. You can swivel onto the tiptoes and you can step forward, fold in, and then rise up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath. Just notice how your body feels. Release the hands down, turn the palms out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Let's slide the hands up again towards the shin. Can we take that right arm forward again with the thumb leading up? Can we spin the palm out? Can we keep that arm high as we bring it around and just touch the bum with the back of the hand? And then lift up, spin the palm forward, reach forward, bring it back. Left arm comes up. Spin the palm out, take it back. Back of the hand touches the bum. Press the palm up, spin the palm forward, and bring it down. fold down, step into plank, lower down, so maybe knees, so if you're starting to get tired. Again, a low cobra, maybe this time you take the hands up and lift the elbows high. Releasing down, curl the toes, push up, hands and knees or plank, downward facing dog. So if you're starting to get tired, adjust your practice, because I know some of you are already starting off feeling tired, so. I'm going to step the left foot forward, you might swing it up and swing it forward. Swivel that back heel down. Keep that really nice bend in that left knee as you swing your arms up, find your warrior. Take a bit of weight into that back heel. Firm up that back thigh. Maybe you deepen that bend in the front knee. Maybe you lighten out a bit, a little bit. Rotate the palms out, sweep the hands back. This time, maybe just work at steepling the fingers and the thumb together. A little bit harder, but you gain a little bit more control through the shoulders. We're going to lean forward, coming into that humble warrior. Maybe the hands can come up a little bit higher. Maybe they can't if we're steepling the fingers. Maybe they're not even touching. Doesn't matter. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Release the fingertips to the floor. Swivel the heel off so you're on the ball of the foot. Push up to the front, step up. And inhale and rise up. Nice job. Hands to the heart. Take a few breaths there. So let the heart rate go down if the heart rate feels fast. And we're going to turn to the side of the mat. We'll do a couple of standing poses and then I'm going to bring you down. Okay? So let's step really nice and wide on our mat. I'm going to be coming into warrior 2. So it's a wide leg stance. I'm going to turn the right toes in a little bit and we're going to swivel the whole of the left foot out to the top of the mat. And then just with your hands on your hips, try not to lean forward in this. Just try and actually, if anything, lean back slightly, lean towards that back leg. But start to bend your left knee and sink down into that. So if you notice that your knee is coming quite a lot in front of your ankle, that's just an indication that you could go wider in your stance, okay? And then from there, inhale and raise your arms and look along the line of your middle finger on your right hand. Sorry, it's your left hand. It's confusing. Just testing you, just testing. Breathe into that. Now, bring your right hand down and just touch the outside of that right knee. And then I want you to try and press your knee into your hand. Push the two together. Notice how much more you can feel switching on around the glute, those abductor muscles all kind of switching on as you try and press those two together. Once you've found that, keep it. Keep squeezing and then bring the arm back up again. We're going to rotate that same palm up to the ceiling. We're going to turn back into reverse warrior, so tip back rather. Bring yourself back. That left butt still switched on. You're going to lean forward and maybe for a moment just take that left elbow to that knee. Turn the right palm up to the ceiling. Sweep the arm over alongside your ear or straight up to the ceiling. And then if you've still got that work going on in the butt, I'm sure it's starting to maybe ache a little bit now, but for the last little bit of effort, you might want to reach those fingers forward. You might not either. Okay, it's a lot of work. 3, breathe. 2, if you can't breathe, put the elbow back. 1, push and come up. Well done. Turn those toes in, so the left toes turning in, right toes out. I know I keep getting mixed up with my left and my right today. Just going to blame hormones or something, I don't know. Bend that knee. It's always easy to blame hormones, isn't it? Firm up that thigh. Inhale, raise your arms. Find your warrior. So you might want to go a little bit deeper. You might want to go a little bit wider. And then just again, bring that right hand to the outside of that right knee and push the two together. So see, can you find that work to pull that knee back and keep that all switched on. Bring up the arm again. Right palm turns to the ceiling. We're going to tip back. Come back then. And lean forward. So rest the elbow there if you need to for a moment. Turn the palm up to the ceiling. Sweep the arm over. Extend. You might want to stay here like this. You might want to play around with reaching those fingers forward. If you really want to go for it, both arms reaching towards the wall on your right. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Push the floor away. Come back. Release. Heel toe the feet in together. Shake it out. Okay, so there are little tweaks we can make to our poses to just make them work for us, so that we're not just sinking into joints, but that we're really working to protect those joints. We're going to just come into a wide leg forward bend that's a little bit softer. We're going to bring the energy down a little bit. So step wide again. And this time you might even turn your toes in, slightly pigeon-toed. Very attractive. Firm up your thighs. You can choose what you want to do with your arms here. Hands to the hips, shoulders back, elbows squeezing together. You might want to clasp the hands behind your back. You might want to go back to try and steeple fingers. Or you might just want to keep your hands at your hips and just let it be more relaxed, okay? So we're going to start to take the sit bones back and bring the chest forward. And as you come down, hopefully, if you release the hands to the floor, your fingertips will touch the floor. And if not, you might need to come up and grab yourself a block or a book or a brick. And then if your fingertips don't quite touch the floor or you're straining, maybe taking your feet out wider will also help. Notice where the weight is going into your feet. Oftentimes it'll go out into the outer edges of the feet. Try and press more into the ball of the big toe. Try and kind of press through all 4 corners of your feet. And then focusing on softening down. So it might be with your breath, with your exhale, get a little bit more softness. Some of you, I know you can start to walk the hands back a little bit more in line with the feet. You might be able to bend the elbows and hook the elbows in towards each other. Might even be able to get the crown of the head down to the floor. Just breathe. Maybe give the head a little nod and a shake. You might even want to take a soft sway side to side. If you're wanting to work more again into your hips to stretch that out or into the groins, you could turn one toe, set of toes out and lunge over in that direction and take a nice deep lunge that'll stretch the inner thigh. So really, as we're coming towards the end of this class, make sure that you get what you need. If there's something that I haven't done or something that your body is asking for, try and find that. It might be that you want to take a nice big twist. You might want to lunge over to the other side. You might just be hanging out where you are and breathing into that. A couple more breaths in this wide leg forward bend. And we're going to make our way up again to standing, and we're going to maybe soften the knees a little bit. Maybe bring one hand back to one hip and the other hand back to the other hip, and then really root down through the feet to lift the head, neck and chest up nice and strong, and then heel toe the feet in together. And then let's come and sit down. So take your time making your way back to the floor. Make sure you've got plenty of room to roll down behind you. And again, if there's anything that you need before you roll down, give yourself that moment now. So coming onto your back, we might just take a bridge pose for a kind of final back bend, and then we'll soften down from there. So if you bring your heels in towards your bum, Your arms can lie down alongside your body, or you might take them wider with the palms up. I kind of like that variation because it allows the shoulders to press back and the chest to open, but everybody's different. And traditionally, it was always palms down. So whatever works best for you. I want you just to press your lower back down into the floor and feel a little bit of a lift through the pubic bone. We're not coming all the way up yet. Just going to do a few pelvic tilts. Go the other way, press more down into your tailbone, let your lower back lift away from the floor. So you tilt the pelvis forward towards your feet, and then you tilt the pelvis back towards your head. And just go between those two a couple of times. That'll just release any compression or tension in the lower back. And then the next time that you press into the lower back and you tilt the pelvis towards your head, start to push into your feet and allow yourself to roll up onto your upper back and onto your shoulders. Keep the bum engaged, because again, you know that that protects your lower back. So squeezing the inner thighs together, dragging a little bit the heels towards the head, maybe walking the shoulders a little bit more away from the ears so that you have more space. Softness in the back of your neck, really important. Softness through the muscles of your face. Pressing the hips up. We might take a couple of breaths here where we breathe out through the mouth just to stretch the diaphragm. So take a nice inhale and then sigh the breath out. And again, if you can. And then once you're done, if you want to do that again, you can, but we're going to start to slowly roll the spine back down to the floor. And we're just going to pause here in our constructive rest pose. So you might walk the feet a little bit further away, stack your knees somewhere over your ankles, maybe let your hands rest onto your belly. When we breathe out like that in bridge pose and you feel the diaphragm stretching, you can also feel how the diaphragm is connected to all other parts of your body. You know, everything really is connected through fascia. So everything gets a really nice internal stretch when we do that. And it just releases a bit of that tension in the diaphragm or breathing muscle, which can create that kind of, when it's tense, that shallow, stressed kind of breath. So that's really nice just to release that. I'm going to invite you now to stretch out into your Shavasana. So if you needed to put on a warmer layer or grab a blanket or a cushion, you can do that. Just stretching yourself out. Tuck your chin slightly. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. And start to come back to your body and any sensations that you might be feeling in your body. So we did do some strong stuff in the end. In terms of engaging and strengthening, which is very protective for your body, for your joints. So good work done today. But now we want to just focus on softness. Softening around your face again, your shoulders, allowing your arms to feel very heavy, very soft. Feel the softness at the crooks of your elbows, the softness in the palms of your hands. Notice maybe the gentle curling of the fingers. Be aware of your shoulders rolling back heavily towards the floor and how that brings a sense of spaciousness through the chest, around the collarbones. Travel your awareness down your torso. Imagine every little vertebra along the length of your spine taking up its own space. All the curves of your spine gently releasing down into the floor and being supported. And as the back of your body sinks down into the ground, into the floor, feel the front of your body sinking down into the back, so we feel that softness through the chest and the belly, the deep lake of the belly. Just pausing there and noticing any movement of the breath around your chest or your belly. Feeling down into your hips. Imagine or sense now a relaxing, a releasing through the hips, the thighs rolling out, the thighs letting go of their grip on the bones and just softening. The softness at the back of your knees. The calf muscles relaxing. The feet just simply flopping out to the sides, letting go. Feeling the softness on the soles of your feet, the backs of your toes. Notice any sensations you might feel in your body, maybe a tingling in the fingertips or the toes, the beating of your heart. As we soften and relax, often we'll feel a gurgling in the belly. All good signs, all part of our relaxation, our letting go. Softening, reconnecting. And if the mind is busy today, if there are thoughts encroaching on your relaxation, that's okay. You can't stop our thoughts, but you don't have to follow them. Let them be. Just notice. Just staying in this state of awareness of everything. The sensations in your body, the sounds outside the room, maybe sounds inside the room, temperature, feeling of your clothes on your skin, all of that. We can be aware of all of that. We don't need to change any of it. We don't need to judge any of it right now. Just taking a few more moments here to enjoy this time for you. Breathing softly in and softly out. Every exhalation, feeling a little bit more relaxed. Imagine your body filled with a warm, soft, soothing energy. Nourishing and nurturing energy. And we're going to try and keep that with us for the rest of the day as we begin to bring ourselves back now to the room that we're in, to your space on your mat, to your physical body, your breathing body, and just beginning to allow some small movements. Gently reawakening your body, a little wriggle of your fingers, a little wriggle of your toes, a little stretch or yawn, We're going to start to make our way back to a seated position. Take your time. And once you're back to a seated position, you might join the hands together in front of your heart center. And firstly, in gratitude to yourself for giving yourself this time today, in gratitude to everybody for sharing this space, this virtual yoga space, which is actually becoming really important to me because I feel like I'm still connecting to people around the world, which is lovely. Even though I started back to my outside yoga classes, which was fantastic, but this is still a really important space. So thank you for joining me again this morning and have a fantastic day. Namaste. I'm going to pull out my microphone and then say goodbye.